something to do. It was in the Greek Empire, and he fought the other Greeks. Spartacus. Yeah, when I watch, want to check out Spartacus.
2nd century BC, the Romans conquered the Greeks. Yeah, they were fighting. 2nd century BC.
Yes, so
Before
Spartacus.
before the coming of Isa and Salam, they
Yes.
started fighting with the Greeks and then before
Yes.
they spread to the north and east Persia, and which is which today is
Iran. They just switched names around.
Iran.
After the Second World War, between the First and the Second War, they started switching names around. And then when they just saw, when the people here, not your people, not mine. When the other people, when the Khazars came up with the atom bomb, they dropped it on the Japanese. Khazars, that's coming from the Khazars now. But they, you follow me? They say the Germans created that, but who's the? They're German.
Right.
Germans fought Germans. Germans fought Germans. Germans fought Germans. Russians fought Russians. Irish fought Irish. Scottish fought Scots. In the so-called United States, the Civil War, the South and the North. The North is English. The South is English. I'm going to call it United Kingdom just to be short. But I don't want to break up all the different nationalities. They were in the South and in the North. And the South says, no, we're not going to go with that program. We're going to fight. And the North says, no, if we go this way, we're all going to benefit. If I'm saying they've always been engaged with each other, and they're the same family. They're related, but they fought. So now the South and the North were fighting. And they're still fighting today, but they're not using the boom boom. They're using what?
Paper money.
And the media. No, they're not using the paper. No, they're using paper money.
It's not paper money, but the banks.
No, no.
Media, like
The media. They're using the media.
Yeah.
Because the people who own the banks are the Khazars. The Rothschilds, they own it. They print it. The other ones, the aristocrats, don't own it. The Khazars own it. They own the Federal Reserve. They own the World Bank. That's why I got all this, what they call third world countries, all messed up. See, but if in the third world countries say, well, I'm from Ghana, I want the guy in Morocco in charge of me. And then one in Morocco said, well, I don't want the Egyptians in charge of me. And the Egyptians said, well, I don't want those Nigerians. You follow me? When they all should be one. See, they all become one, then Rome would fall overnight. Like, not even overnight. Like, you couldn't even blink. Before you blink an eye, it's finished.
That's like Gaddafi thing.
Yeah, Gaddafi. Well, it's the same. That's what I'm speaking about. Like Gaddafi. Now, I'm not promoting revolution.
Right.
I got you.
I'm just giving academic information. Academia information. That's what I'm giving you. I'm sharing.
I got you.
What you do with it is up to you.
No, we just like to listen.
It might make sense to you, but I'm just giving you truth. I'm giving you truth. I'm giving you information.
Yes.
Please.
But you know, it seems that in the continent of Africa, well, we know there's always a division of something. You break it down to the countries and you break it down to the states. And well, I don't know if they have states there.
They have states.
Okay. But you know, they're always at odds with each other.
No,
And they're always mouthy.
that's everywhere.
But they are very, very adamant about the things that they go back and forth with. And I think that those people who love to see that because they don't want them to come together definitely won't disencourage it. It's like chaos creates negative sentiment. So, you know, with them always being at odds with each other like that, it'll never be any real peace over there.
No, listen, I'm not going to say that you're incorrect.
Okay, that's okay.
I just want to say this here. Now, the chaos was created not from the people.
Of course not.
Because as I was getting to my point about the North and the South, the chaos is coming from the North and the South. The North and the South is fighting each other. And the North wants you to be on his side. And the South wants you to be on his side. I'm going to use Hillary Clinton. Where's she from? She's from where? Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Donald Trump is from New York, right?
Yes.
So New York, Donald Trump's in New York, in the North. Hillary Clinton's from Arkansas. She's from the South. They're at odds with each other. They've always been. Boom, 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 boom. Watch InfoWars with Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Not just them. I mean, just listen to them.
And back out.
I mean, they already did. See, one was going to spit the truth out to you. One's the Confederate flag. One said, we're the Confederates. But that's not their flag. The flag came from another group of people. Even the red, white, and blue, that's not really their flag. That flag came from another group of people. They don't even had nothing to do with Europe. I mean, it has something to do with Europe, but they're not European. I mean, they're not Roman, per se. You following me so far, sister?
Yes, I do.
Ma'am?
Thank you.
So,
The old republic versus
the old
democracy.
republic. See, then you have to trace the old republic.
Yeah,
So, let me say this here. George Washington is British.
Yes.
Yes, he was British, right? And before George Washington, they were what? British. Before George Washington, they were British. Right? The Brits.
Yeah.
So now, and then George Washington turned around, they said that him and Paul Revere, and they also with the people that looked like us that rode with them, were fighting the British. The Americans was fighting, now all of a sudden they became Americans. Like, how did that happen? America didn't even exist. I mean, the continent was here. The people were here, the indigenous people here, but they didn't call themselves Americans. They had another name. Now, hold on for it, just follow me. They had another name. But George Washington, all of a sudden, he wasn't British no more. He was born in Britain. I mean, he's born British. He died British. And those who fought with him, they were born British and they died British. They had what they call the 13 colonies, not the United States. The United States, they didn't even think about the word United States at all. They had a confederation, but the confederation did not belong to George Washington, and those people, the federation belonged to the indigenous people, who they call Indians. And Indian is a misnomer. It's totally incorrect.
That's right.
So if you allow someone to call you, the Romans come to call you Indian, or to call you African, then you or something's wrong with you. You deserve how they treat you.
The Confederacy of Nations.
The Confederacy of Nations. If you watch General Custer
Yeah.
with Sitting Bull and Little Bighorn, Earl Flynn. Now Earl Flynn plays some good historical movies. Blackbeard and all of them. Just get all his movies, especially the down with their boots on. I like this class. I mean, this class is pumping. Yes, pumping. I just Temple University. Please, I need 4 hours straight so I can do this. Listen, Earl Flynn with down with their boots on. Listen to everything that Earl Flynn said, and listen to who was his mentor, where he got his tactics from for fighting. Listen to them. Listen to how they communicated. And then when it came to the so-called Indian-American wars, see, because America didn't last before the Civil War. It was just the colonies.
Okay.
It was just colonies. And they didn't have 58, and they didn't have 48 or 52 or 53 states.
Right.
They only had the 13 colonies. The 13 colonies were still in existence until what? The North, through Lincoln and Grant, I'm going to say Grant, beat up on the South with the help from those who financed them. Who financed them? The Khazars, the ones who say they're Jews.
Oh.
Is it written? It's written. It's their documents. I mean, we have our documents too. It's written overseas. It's written in Arabic scripts. It's written in Chinese scripts. Am I making sense to you?
Yeah.
They see, before they conquered the so-called continent of Africa, they conquered here first. What they call the Western Hemisphere, what they call the United States or America. This was conquered before they went to do the Zulus, the Hausas, the Yorubas, or the continent period. Go look at the history. Go look at who was in Africa fighting? The Brits.
The Brits were fighting us.
They had red jackets on with the white hats, right? And who did they fight? They fought the Zulus. Go watch the Zulu Wars.
Yes.
Go look at it. If you can't get the information inside the United States here, down in DC someplace, go to South Africa. Go to London. They brag about it. Go watch Lawrence of Listen. Check out Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia, they say he was gay. They try to make him look real bad, but come on now. There wasn't nothing gay about him. See, he was a Muslim. He accepted Islam. They don't say that. That he accepted, but it's in the documents. They say he loved the Quran. He can recite the Quran. He spoke Arabic.
No, they didn't like him.
No, they didn't like him, but see, he knew the Muslim. So they used him to what? Do their dirty work. But he didn't know what they were doing until later on. And when he found out what they were doing, he like left them alone. And they say he got killed on a motorcycle, but come on.
Yeah, right.
Right. They just killed him. Come on. I mean, they dispose of him. So this way, he can't win.
Oh,
Because he wanted to know, you know, if you can find the movie on Lawrence of Arabia, find it. If you can't find the movie, look at the book. Books always give you more information. Go to the real bookstores, go to the universities, search for these books, take out the information, and use them. You'll spend a whole lifetime reading them.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Say, I give you a lot of information. Lawrence of Arabia.
Right.
Before I would do anything, I would go home, or if we can camp out here and say, listen, let's get over here and let's do Lawrence of Arabia. I would try to YouTube it, if it's on YouTube, or on social media, and listen to what they're saying. Because he was a nobody who became a colonel. And and that's how Arabia became Saul. And the Saul family is not really from Arabia, they're Turks. They're from the same place as the Khazars from. They're from up there. They're related. The ones that say they're Hebrew, the ones that say they're Jews, and the ones that say they're from Arabia, they're related. Same blood.
Not surprised.
You're like, yeah, I don't believe he's talking like that. Yes, I am. What do I have to fear? What's going to happen to me? Huh? I would always teach. I've been doing this all my life. All my adulthood, when I'm doing law work, attorney's work, this is it's going through my mind. So just people, they don't know what they're doing. See here, people in this continent, so-called Africans, are trying to run away to go to the continent. And the people on the continent is trying to run away to come over here because they want the benefits. People here is running. When I say people here, I'm not speaking about so-called African Americans and so-called European Americans. I'm speaking about both the lower class, or the 80%, or trying to run back to Europe, where they come from, for for citizenship, whatever. And the people over there are trying to run over here because they want the benefits.
That's right.
See, because after the Civil War, they gave out these benefits. And I don't have time to get into that too much. But see, this is what they did. It's in the Constitution. What they did a trade-off. They said, okay, listen, we're going to pay you guys. I'll beat your butt. Excuse me for improper English. Please forgive me. I use a misnomer. They beat up on the South with the help of the Khazars, who call themselves Jews. They speak the language of Yiddish, and they mix it with a little bit of Hebrew and Aramaic. But they're not real Hebrews, but they follow Moses, which is fine. I'm happy for them. They didn't want to be. You didn't want to be Muslim, and you didn't want to be Christian. So you follow Moses because they were sandwiched in the middle. You see, so they play that little violin. If you watch Frankenstein with me, you hear the violin playing. They're talking about it. They're talking about themselves. So please forgive me. Let me wind myself up here. Help me out here before because it's closing out. Where was I at?
About the Hebrews financing the wars.
The South and the North. So now the Khazars, the Khazar Empire, financed the North and the South. They financed Napoleon, and they financed the other. They financed both sides.
They financed Abe Lincoln, like you said, to go against the civil.
That's what I said. I'm just saying the North.
Oh, those.
Yeah, just the North and the South. Rather, it doesn't matter who's in charge. They finance. I'm gonna say it just to satisfy you. They financed Lincoln and they financed General Lee.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because that's something you got to be specific with. But when I say the North and the South, I'm just being in general.
Gotcha.
And I just had to throw out some names there sometimes. So it's the same game today.
Thank you.
I know.
It's the same thing. Like I said, the people that's in Saudi Arabia are not really they're not really Arabian. They're not Arabs. They just speak the language because they're the people of the cave. But they're the same as the ones who say that they're Jew. They're related.
Turks and Ottomans.
Just say from the Turkish, just say Khazars. Where are they from? No, the Khazars, right?
The North.
In other words, the Saudis are the Khazarians. The ones that say they're Jews are Khazarians. The ones that say Israel and Palestine, they're Khazarians. Do you see one that pale skin and blonde hair, green eyes?
Yes.
They're all Khazars. All of them. They don't use the word, but I'm respecting them. I know their history. But one is saying he's Israel, and the other one is saying he's Palestinian. The other one was he's saying he's Saudi. But they're all the same. They're the same. They're all related. It's the same blood. They're just, that's called identity theft. It's called identity theft. You stole someone's like, they're playing other people's role. That's it. It's in the Bible.
If they're all the same, how is it that they can manage to come together in order to finance the north and south of different nations?
To make money, to read out the...
No, they have the money. They print the money.
No, I mean, they just to
They
make...
print the money. They're not making money.
No, because they make them...
No, they're not making money. The Khazars own everything. They print the money. They own the banks. They own the Federal Reserve. They own everything that you can think of.
Yes.
They own it.
And interpret the laws.
They manufactured
No, not laws.
Israeli
The laws coming from the Torah, from the Injil, from the Quran. That's the law, true law. And they have a law here in the so-called United States, is the Constitution, which comes from the Quran and the so-called and the Torah. You know, that's coming from there. Now, anything they say, if you say you broke a law, you got to write me a ticket or a domestic dispute. That's not law. That's called code. That's codes and statutes.
Okay.
See, that's why I was mixing this course tonight with the law, a little bit of mixing it. So because it's all related.
That's right.
You see, so if you know where you come from, you know where you are. If you know where you are, then you know where you're going. So now, if you get stuck on the word black, you get stuck on the word white. I'm white, and you're black. What's that say? That's not informing me of who you are and what you are. I can look at you and say, I know where he's from and she's from. It makes sense. Like I met a Russian Jew, so-called Russian Jew here at the university, a student. And I said, she said something to me, and I can't remember. It's like a couple weeks ago. I said, oh, you're Khazar. She said her parents came from Russia and moved to Philadelphia, and she was born in Philadelphia. I said, but you're still Khazar. She said, I'm a Jew. I said, I thought you were from the Mediterranean. Because she couldn't pronounce my name. I said, oh, okay. But she looks at me kind of like, she's like surprised. Oh, I'm so happy to meet you. It's like, how can my students get here to hear this? Or I can't, like to record it. You see? Because, but she said her nationality. She's Russian and what? Jewish. See? And I appreciate that. See, somebody like you, he might say, you're not this. I'm black and my girlfriend is Russian. Duh. Okay. She's Russian and he's black. Where's that place at?
That's right.
Where is it? Where's black? See, and I hate, I have a dislike for people say that they're Muslim and Hebrew, go around saying like, those black people, but I'm Palestinian, or I'm Egyptian, or I'm Moroccan, or I'm from Ghana, or like that. See, that's why the Muslim world is all messed up, because they play this little
mind game with words.
Because some of them know, and some of them don't know. But they're the same people. Like I said, they're the same. So I'm going to close this out because we have a couple minutes left. And I just want to know if you have any questions. Any questions? Any questions?
Yes.
I'm looking for my phone. Go ahead.
There was an actress. I looked her up. She plays in The Walking Dead. I believe she's from Africa, but of course they become American over here when they make our money and whatever. I noticed that when when they represented her in the Wikipedia, she said she didn't say she was African American. Wherever she was from, like maybe Zimbabwe, I'm not sure. It was like she was considered Zimbabwe American. I said, well, gosh, I said, so she's trying to distinguish herself as a separate entity from those of us who've been here. I said, what is it that she's really trying to imply?
She's correct.
That's true. But
Obama's Kenyan.
So he's considered Kenyan.
He's Kenyan. Obama's. So you weren't here in the beginning of the class. I didn't say this. Obama's a Kenyan American. That's not hidden. That's public. I'm Mauritanian American, or a Syrianian American, or a Jamaican American. Am I making sense to you?
Yeah.
So
African American doesn't say where you're from. What's the African American? Where's that at? Where is it? Now, American, I know where that is. When you say African, where at in Africa? It's like it's like 53 countries in Africa. Which country are you speaking about? Are you speaking about Nigeria? Are you speaking about Ghana? Are you speaking about Senegal? Are you speaking about Morocco? Are you speaking about Kenya, Tanzania? You know, Zimbabwe? I mean, like, which country in Africa? And the word Africa is a misnomer. That's what the Europeans calling you. So when you say our money, it's not our money. It's your face is not on that so-called money. It's their face, their presidents. But you're saying our money. If this is our money, then how come we have a problem? Not me, I'm sorry. But how come a group of people have a problem?
Well, I think they're trying to change the face of it a little bit, with including Harriet Tubman on one of those bills that they're changing over.
That's totally a misnomer. Totally a misnomer. Anyway, I want to say good night to everyone. Well, thank you for coming to Temple University. And we have a few more weeks left here in the course, and I pray that you sign up again.
Yes.
Come back in January. And
Part 2 next week.
part two is next week of this year.
Oh, good.
This. All right.
Thank you.
Now,
So
what's
we
it
get.
called?
Etymology?
No, this is called. I had it written up on the board, but it was erased. It's called Arabic, Etymology, and Law.
Oh, okay. Good.
When I say Arabic, Etymology, and Law, it's like everything I spoke about tonight is blended in. It's blend of everything. Because etymology is about the past, it's about history. Yeah, everyone follow me so far?
Yes. Makes sense.
So of course it's about law and how to move about in the law and to comprehend law and to know where we are and what we are. And so